Volatility returns to global indices. Watch how global benchmarks moved in July on varying macro news and how you can use warrants to capture these moves. This is Darren from Macquarie Warrants, here to share with you the market action we saw in the month and what warrant investors can look out for in the coming weeks. The markets at the start of July believed that a rate hike might occur sooner than expected after US inflation figures rose at the fastest pace since 1991, while unemployment rate in the US steadily improves. However, inflation fears soon gave way to renewed worries about a sustained economic recovery after the US Federal Reserve remained unchanged in their low interest rates policies and stimulus plans, leading Treasury yields to fall to its lowest levels since February. Intraday moves in the S&P futures during Singapore's trading hours in July were volatile, with the futures making moves of more than 1% daily. Investors keen to trade these short-term moves on the S&P during Singapore trading hours may consider doing so via Macquarie's S&P Warrants, which allow investors to go long or short on the S&P futures index. So, what are warrants? Call warrants move in line with the underlying they follow, meaning if the underlying stock or index went up, so would the call warrants. Puts warrants move inversely from the underlying and will increase in price when the underlying stock or index falls. In the table, you'll find both call and puts warrants over the S&P 500 futures, allowing investors to trade on a bullish or bearish view. Investors should note that these warrants do not track the overnight index, but rather the S&P index futures, which trade 23 hours a day. When the S&P 500 futures declined 2.5% for the month of July, the S&P put YIJW gained 10.2%, while the S&P call INMW lost 24.3%. For more futures and warrants prices, simply head to our website. So how do you know how much more a warrant will move given a move in the underlying price in the short term? For that, investors can refer to the effective gearing level as an indication. Say if a warrant had effective gearing of 10 times, it means the warrant will move around 10% for every 1% move in underlying share or index it tracks. The gearing effect is one of the reasons that make warrants popular, but notes that gearing can work both ways, meaning warrants will also move in a bigger magnitude or percentage than the percentage move in the underlying should you get your view wrong. Back home, Singapore also saw rising volatility as its reopening thematic saw setbacks. Adding to the uncertainty will be the upcoming earnings season for the first half of 2021 just around the corner. With the region struck by tightened social restrictions, there are concerns that Singapore companies might see poor performance for the second quarter of the year. The Singapore banks, for example, face the risk of increased defaults on payments by small to medium enterprises. After hitting a 2-month high on 6 July, the STI has fallen close to the 3,100 level on 21st July as the nation retightened its social restrictions, which spans a month between 22nd July and 18 August. Equipped with an effective gearing of 6 to 8 times, the STI warrants move in magnified gains compared to the index. Investors keen to gain exposure to the STI may consider the recently listed STI call and put warrants with a December expiry. To estimate how much you should be investing into warrants, you can also use effective gearing as a guide. As an example, for a shareholder with $100,000 worth of XYZ shares in the portfolio and wishes to hedge against a short-term downward move in the shares, can consider put warrant. If this put warrant has a 10 times gearing, the shareholder needs only to invest into the put warrant an amount that is 10 times less than his shares exposure of $100,000. That is, the XYZ shareholder can buy $10,000 worth of this put warrant. For further details on trading warrants and to find out if you're qualified to trade warrants, click on the link in the description or feel free to contact us at our warrant hotline. Lastly, don't miss out on next video and exciting warrant news by scanning on the QR codes and subscribe to our channels on YouTube, Telegram and Facebook.